Greed is a movie that is not quite sure what it wants to be. It is a story that is told in a non-linear fashion, for some explained reason, that is part attempted comedy, drama, mockumentary, satire, a commentary, and an attempted true crime film, all in one. And for lack of a better term, it's a bloody mess. This movie is directed by Michael Winterbottom and stars Steve Coogan, Isla Fisher, Shirley Henderson, David Mitchell, and Asha Butterfield. I cannot speak today. If this movie is meant to be a satire, it's a pretty shit one. I can see where the story was trying to go. I can see where the directors and actors are trying to take this movie, but it just falls flat on its face. It has not tried to present any commentary that is new or interesting. The story is not interesting, even though there are vain attempts to make it that way. It's really just strange, a lot of the technical aspects that are in this film. The screen will either freeze on a character before doing a transition, or multiple montage scenes are full of wipes across the screen that seem very out of place. The colorization, I thought, as a whole, was terrible, and there was a scene in a building where something catches on fire, and while the building is on fire, I shit you not, they simply colorize the screen a darker gray to simulate that smoke. And a lot of the framing and placement of scenes just felt wonky to me. As for the acting, I mean, what do you want me to say? Steve Coogan has these weird-ass fake teeth for the entire movie that, when the movie started, he had a slight lisp to him that made it almost impossible to understand anything that he was saying, which magically went away after the first flashback. And Isla Fisher is Isla Fisher, and I feel like she plays the same character in pretty much every movie. Now, I will admit, this movie had me for a second. It really had me interested and invested in what this movie had to say. There's a flashback scene that's set in the 70s that showed how Coogan's character got his start in the fashion industry. And it's all of about 7 minutes, but it was by far the most captivating part of the film. I was genuinely interested into what was going on. I wanted to see a story following Coogan's character that started from this point, from primary school to now where he's 60. Aside, not having any interest and not wanting to see at all what is going on with his family and other acquaintances for a grueling hour and 40 minutes. I clocked it at 35 minutes into this film when Coogan's daughter is supposed to be a mock Kardashian that rips food away from refugees to give it back to them in another shot. I completely gave up on this movie. Aside the fact that it's not even trying to present a good light, in my opinion, on refugees, the scene is just completely appalling, and I understand what they're trying to do, making commentary on the Kardashians, but it could have been done in such a better way, and that's what should have been the tagline for this movie. Could have been done in a better way, because there is something here, there's something interesting, but the execution is so utterly poor that does not leave the audience with anything to take away from it. There's no message. There's nothing enjoyable for the viewer to see. The story is scatterbrained. The characters across the board are unlikable, and it's just a bad movie, frankly put. And I wished I had not spent my time watching it. It presents absolutely nothing enjoyable for the viewer to watch, whether it be good comedy or so bad it's funny. There's nothing in it. It is bland, forgettable, and a boring movie that I will probably never think about again. 3.2 out of 10.